Issue number 13 unfolds with Flash. He narrates that the Null Arbor is a road that stretches over thousands of miles of virtually nothing. He exclaims that this road is mostly empty. However, a train passes from here to cross the country, but that's it. Flash narrates that this road is 90 miles long, which is like a nirvana for a speedster because there is no traffic, but they need to look out for the kangaroos. He tells us that he often comes here to run and to think, but today he just wants to run and not think at all. Now the scene shifts to hours before. There was a protest going on in Melbourne, Australia. One kid comes up and attacks Superman. He calls himself Galaxo. Flash narrates that, by the look of him, he looked very strong, but he was not that strong because the people who gave him powers told him that he is pretty strong, but, to be honest, they just used steroids and gave him armor to feel like a superhero. Wonder Woman and Superman grabs Galaxo and smashes him on the ground. Flash knew that Galaxo is not that strong to take the damage from Diana and Clark, but he stood there. He exclaims that he could have acted 10 times by the time each vertebrae popped, but he just stood there. Now Galaxo was just lying on the ground and Diana tells everyone to go away and asks Flash, where is he going? Flash responds that he is going to get an ambulance for him. Batman tells Flash to get to the scientific lab in Canberra. He uses a communicator to talk to him. When Flash enters the lab, a lady meets him and tells him about Galaxo. Flash asks her what Galaxo means. She responds that that was a name he gave himself. He takes Flash to his room and there was a picture of Galaxo with Flash. He tells her that he do not remember taking this picture with him. On the other hand, Batman was asking Flash about the kid. He asks him about how he felt when his superheroes provoked him. Flash gets emotional and vanishes. Now, scene shifts to present. Flash stops for a dead kangaroo and exclaims that the kangaroo is 6 foot tall and 200 pounds of muscle, which means nothing to a 200-ton road train truck traveling at 70 miles an hour. The driver could not have slowed down and he probably barely noticed. Flash remembers when the kid died in front of him and thinks that he could have stopped him from dying because he noticed. He gets up and narrates that he often comes here to run and think, but today he just wants to run. Now the scene shifts to Batman. He narrates that there is a scream that cannot be silenced. It's rising, growing louder and louder. It's a scream of a child abandoned suddenly long ago. He is gone. I'm abandoned again. My son is dead. On the other hand, news reporters were covering news. A guest was sitting in a dark corner. They call him Dr. Booney, but he seemed very strange. Reporter Julie apologizes for the light, but he refuses to come in front of the camera while Nightwing was watching the news on the screen. It was Harvey Dent who was sitting in the dark. He comes up and points his gun at them. They ask him to not kill them, but Harvey tosses a coin. However, the coin was burned into ashes midair. He was pissed because he could not see the coin dropped. Superman was standing in front of him and he asks him about the coin. Superman refuses to reveal and breaks his gun. Police arrests Harvey and reporters thank Superman for saving them. Reporter Julie asks Superman if they can ask him some questions. Clark agrees and Julie exclaims that Lois was a great woman because they met before. They used to work at Daily Planet. She asks Superman if Lois would be satisfied for what he is doing. Clark answers that yes, she would be satisfied because he is doing all of that for her. Then she asks a second question about a murder of Joker. Superman exclaims that yes, he killed Joker. Reporter says that she doubts if there is a single soul that disagree on his decision. Clark responds that he wished that was the case, but there are many people who continue to defend those psychopaths, and that is why he is here in Gotham, because there is something sick in their city. Meanwhile, Batman tells Robin to get the plane ready. Robin asks where are they going. Nightwing and Batman run toward the plane and Batman announces that Superman and his friends are going to Gotham, but Robin is not satisfied. Bruce tells his son that they do not have time for this. But Damian argues that Superman and his friends are right. They both leave Robin behind and Nightwing tells Batman that maybe Damian is right because he got a point. Batman tells Nightwing that he was never as stubborn as Robin. Nightwing tells him to go and save those villains from superheroes. On the other hand, Superman, Diana, and Cyborg return Harvey to Gotham jail, but they are not there to give him back. Instead, they are there to take other villains with them. Doctor tells them that they don't get to decide. Suddenly Batman says, no, they don't get to decide. They turn back and Batman was shocked to see that his son is standing with the opposite party. Damian tells them that Batman and Nightwing are just two of them, so they won't give them any trouble. Bruce was shocked. Nightwing asks Robin about what he is doing here. Robin responds that he is standing with Superman, Cyborg, and Wonder Woman, and look what you are standing with, a bunch of murderers. The calendar man asks Diana if she remembers when she broke his collarbone. That was the best date ever, but Diana didn't remember about that. Superman tells Batman that he won't ask him to get aside because he knows Bruce won't do that. Batman tells Superman that he should not have been here. Suddenly a man inside of the cell says that Superman should be here. He shows his scar and reveals that each scar is a life. He says that Superman also got a scar now. Diana asks Cyborg if he is patched in. Cyborg exclaims that he has full control of Arkham Asylum. She orders him to open gate number 83, and when the gate opens, a man inside of the cell vanishes. Now it was a turn of 86. Meanwhile, Batman realizes that it's Flash who is kidnapping villains. Another guy vanishes when the door opens. Riddler was about to play games, but Cyborg stops him and Batman asks Superman about where are they taking them. Superman reveals that they are taking them to somewhere safe where they cannot hurt other people. Bruce commands Cyborg to stop all of that, but he refuses. Batman uses his tech to electrify Cyborg and he falls on the ground. Diana and Superman get scared and Nightwing tells his father to stop that. Meanwhile, Green Arrow brings Harley Quinn to Arkham because she did a lot of damage in his cave. She almost burnt half of his cave. When they enter the asylum, the guard informs Green Arrow that there are a bunch of superheroes already there. Green Arrow runs away and tells him to keep an eye on Harley Quinn. She wears a mustache, but it was lockpicker. She breaks the handcuffs and breaks his nose. She uses controls in a control room to release Grundy. On the other hand, Cyborg realizes that Bruce installed a virus inside of him when they first met. Suddenly Green Arrow shoots an arrow between them. Batman asks him if he is with Superman. He exclaims that he is just here to admit Harley Quinn. Suddenly Harley Quinn starts speaking in speaker and tells everyone that Superman is here to kill all of them. A whole building starts shaking and Grundy emerges from the ground. He grabs Robin from head and goes inside the ground, taking Robin with him. Every prisoner starts attacking superheroes, but Harley tells all of them not to hurt Green Arrow because she has a little crush on him. Lizard grabs Batman and tells Riddler to smash his head, but he refuses because he doesn't kill anyone without asking them a riddle. Green Arrow uses his boxing glove arrow to knock down Riddler. Meanwhile, Grundy was still holding Robin in his hand. Diana uses her sword to stab his arm, but he punches her. Nightwing tells Superman that Grundy is already dead, so he does not have to hold back. Superman uses his heat vision to cut off Grundy's arm and flies towards him with speed. Clark pierces through his guts and Grundy falls. Nightwing saves Robin from the hand and Robin exclaims that everything was under control. Nightwing sarcastically says that, yeah, everything was under control when your head was squeezed in his hand. Batman comes there and asks Robin if he is okay. He also tells him to go and help others to put prisoners in cells, but Robin refuses. Meanwhile, Grundy gets up again. Batman uses his little bombs to explode his head and he falls. He tells Superman that they have to put him back to the cell, so that he cannot damage any further. Meanwhile, Robin, Nightwing, and Cyborg was trying to fight prisoners, but Robin was so angry with them. He says that he is so sick of them because they do not deserve help. Nightwing tries to calm him down, but instead Robin throws his stick at him. It hits on his head and he falls. His neck breaks and he dies. Robin gets scared because he just killed his brother. Batman and Superman come up and Bruce notices Nightwing lying on the ground. Robin apologizes for what he did, but Batman pushes him away from his dead body, and now everyone is shocked to see the death of Nightwing. Batman lost his son and he is not with them anymore to fight against crime. Batman takes him outside.
Please subscribe and feel free to comment below if you have any questions about the comics.